Today we have to figure out and answer this serious question: why? Why? Why is Barack Obama depicted as an orangutan and Michelle Obama as a gorilla? The video was released on True Social and depicted Michelle and Barack Obama as apes. The White House said that one of the staff members made a mistake, and this should never have appeared on President Trump's account under any circumstances.
The video was mainly about vote-counting technology before scrolling to an obviously AI-generated image of the Obamas' faces photoshopped onto two apes. What do you think about the Russian trope?
Personally, I don't believe that black people came from apes, so to me it doesn't seem offensive. But as they say, it could be that both black and white people were most likely created by someone we call the Creator, and most likely created at the same time. That is, not just as one, but probably at the same time. It's also clear, and both science and religion say this, that the entire human race descended from one woman, whom scientists called mitochondrial Eve, the maternal ancestor of all people, all humans who exist, or at least those I know of. They probably checked the pygmies too. At least everyone who was tested turned out to have this in common: a maternal lineage connection. This Eve, from the ancestral line upward, likely lived in Africa. She could have had several sexual partners and children from different male individuals. They are, so to speak, not related through their father, meaning they are all related through their mother. Well, through their mother, their great-great-great-grandmother, but they might not be related through their great-great-grandfather. And to put it simply, Eva might have found herself several Adams, one, let's say, Japanese, one black man, one or two Turks, who knows, and so on. Some scientists say that the grandmother lived about 150,000 years ago, approximately in the area of Tanzania or Namibia. I have no idea what they're basing this on, so to speak. Yeah, and please don't explain it to me in the comments. And according to a more theocratic version, she lived about 6,000 years ago, and we even know the date of her first conception. It's 3,760 before Christ, that is, before the birth of Christ, or about 5,700 years ago. Maybe Eva lived for a long time before, so to speak, before she was kicked out of paradise. I don't know how to put it more precisely. Yeah, well, she was asked to leave, kicked out, I don't know, yeah, but she definitely gave birth to her child on this side. That means on this side of the fence, the firstborn. As far as we know, the only source that tells us about her is the one we can say, oh, I don't believe it. But then what should we believe? Yeah, we have to trust this source. So she named her first child Cain, then Abel, and then after Abel was killed, well, there was no one else. Cain struck him, killed him. Seth was born. Sometimes he's called Sif, and Eve named him Seth because that word means replacement. Yes, Leshanot means to change in Hebrew, and she simply said this is instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. And then there were more children. Maybe not from Adam, but the Bible doesn't name them, so we don't know. By the way, it was from Shet, actually, that the lineage continued. Noah descended from Shet, who was the replacement child, and Noah was the ancestor of Abraham. And Christians believe that, for example, Jesus is also a descendant of Shet. They call him Seth. They call Shet Seth. That's why, honestly, I don't understand the problem with apes. But for some reason, black people get offended when they're called that, or compared or teased in some way. The person who, while working for Trump, posted that video, in my opinion, was trying to compromise Trump to cause a scandal and an uproar about it. And he did.
And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt made the following statement, quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and the Democrats as characters from The Lion King. This excerpt from Trump's post isn't from Disney's The Lion King, as the film has no gorillas or orangutans."
Of course, it's hard to believe that it was a coincidence that Obama was depicted as a monkey. This is an obvious and vile setup. but they say there's no proper oversight over the White House accounts, and probably someone took advantage of that. And of course, this will give a lot of points to the Democrats. So Trump is trying to improve the lives of Americans, while the Democrats are trying to distract people from understanding that. And someone inside his administration, I don't know, maybe they were hired, persuaded, or he did it himself because he feels passionate about it. He usually helps them and hinders us. And also, Trump didn't watch this video and tried to defend him, saying that he would watch it later, which of course also caused an uproar. You'll watch it later, you just want it to stay up as long as possible, and so on and so on. Remember, we said that the Democrats are preparing their own surprises for the elections. Maybe it has already started. And by the way, here's what the Democrats are doing, putting up about Trump. Or, well, this. Or, for example, this innocent video about Trump, like the devil's boyfriend.
Hey, Satan.
I'm not in the mood right now.
Just a bit more to make it really disgusting.
Epstein's list is still being discussed.
So, are you on the list or not? It's odd that when this is mentioned, you just tell everyone to relax.
I'm not telling everyone to relax.
But notice that no one says that Trump descended from a monkey. Probably it's so obvious to everyone, even to his enemies, that they don't even mention it. In general, today there are two commonly accepted versions, from a monkey and from God, right? It's interesting that Trump himself claims it's from God, while Obama and Michelle both say it's from monkeys. For example, I'm a simple and uncomplicated person. I believe both. I actually believe everyone. But the Ukrainians still portrayed Trump as a monkey. They just couldn't resist. Also, by the way, it's funny, yeah, well, it's not really clear, but it's funny. But let's watch one more now, which, in my opinion, gives Trump a more positive rather than negative image. Although it was originally intended as... Well, or here's a short segment about Trump.
Cool, Dave. You've got Trump here. Lame duck a la orange. Really funny.
Drawing this was amazing. Cartoons like this are what I live for. I didn't want it to end, so thank you.
They think, hey, this is funny, and they don't want to let go of that image. Or maybe they're secretly in love with Trump, and do you want to let go of that image? I'm the only one who doesn't see anything funny about it. Or is there anyone else who thinks that this is, well, not very talented? It says on that caricature that I'll protect you, like, even from behind. So the shadow is meaningless. If you're going to make a shadow, then, well, make it meaningful. But all of this is allowed, because with Trump, anything goes. Thank you, I can show you 100 more vile caricatures, puppets, images. You know, I love caricatures, I love satire, I enjoy it. Yes, sometimes it's funny and amusing, right on target and so on, but sometimes it's just vile and not funny at all. And only if you're burning with hatred does it start to bring you pleasure. So let's take a look now. There are several ways you can show it like this. And you can show it like that. And by the way, you can also show it like this, but you can't show black monkeys. And again, I don't understand why. Maybe because they used to be called monkeys. And they kind of get offended. But why is it okay to show Trump, excuse me, bent over and a bear from behind? Probably because they know that Trump and the bear have never had intimate relations and are not planning to. But with Obama, why do they get offended for him or on his behalf? Why, what's going on? And then I remembered. According to Obama, black people don't know how to go and get an identification, so they don't open bank accounts, don't fly on airplanes, and can't get documents notarized. Well, naturally, to vote, you just have to take their word for it because, well, they don't have IDs, they just can't figure out how to do it, where to go, what to say, or what documents to bring. All right, you just have to take their word for it. When they come to the polling station, sometimes they don't even know what time they're supposed to go in. Some people visit 16 polling stations and say, "Trust me." In this state, asking for identification is banned, so every person who arrives gets to vote. In my opinion, it's a very good system for those who are honest. Well, all right, so what can I say about that? Even illegal immigrants, why do I say even? Because they don't know English. In huge numbers, a lot of them don't know it. Even some legal ones don't know it. They easily make it for themselves. So fake documents are allowed, but not for black people. They just can't because, let me think, well, I can't come up with a reason. I can't. Or maybe it's because they're honest, that they don't need to lie. They'd rather not get it, not fly on airplanes, not open bank accounts, not notarize documents. Well, they'll still vote because you can vote without a passport, without documents, and so on. They won't, never will they do anything like that so that you could say it was a deception, I think. That's it. That's probably why the prison population consists of 33% convicted people in prisons who are black, while the general population is 12%, I think it used to be. 14%, now it's dropped to 12% because there are more Hispanic people there now. So 12% of the population, but 33% in prisons. Why can others explain what they were doing there, how they ended up there? Suppose someone was caught in a store, warehouse, or elsewhere. Yes, why? Because they couldn't read at the entrance that entry was prohibited. Others, even those who don't know English, could do it, but they couldn't. And yet they still go in. Sometimes the door is locked, but they don't understand that it's locked, so people don't go inside. Either they find a key there, or they break it open. Because they need to go in, but they didn't understand that if the door is locked, you shouldn't go in. They broke it open and sometimes even broke it down. By the way, they wandered into Congress and broke down the doors there too. Each door weighs maybe 4 tons. I'm not sure. Maybe 2 doors, probably. 4, they broke them open easily. And no one helped them from the other side. No one opened those doors. They never opened any doors. That's exactly why all the black countries were very offended and upset when Michelle and Barack were depicted as monkeys. But notice, Barack was depicted as an orangutan and Michelle as a gorilla. I promise to answer this question, but I'm afraid that if I do, I'll get banned, and for a very long time. So, yes, I lied to you. I did the same thing everyone else does. I finally deceived someone. I said one thing at first and then honestly admitted that I wouldn't do it. I know, but I won't do it. If someone really wants me to do something about it, please don't write to me about it. We could get punished for that too. Because under no circumstances should we explain why Barack was depicted as an orangutan and Michelle as a gorilla. We absolutely must not do that. We all condemn it because it's racism. That's it. Goodbye. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Because if I say anything else, it will definitely be racism. Goodbye. See you soon.